use the column of word, page 31, volume 4A. Let me use the column for word. So there is an MCA for Kipkelion, and then below the Kipkelion MCA is nominated. That is the one, the nominated one is Edna Chepkemoi, who was voted for, and the affidavit is at page 128 in volume 1 of the governor's bundle. Then the next MCA is in the column of words is Cheplanget, and that is Hilary Bosuben Kibet, and this affidavit is at page 121 of volume 1. The third one is at page 32 and is the MCA for Kukerwet, Martin Cheruyot Kiplangat, and this affidavit is at page 121 of volume 1. Thank you, Honorable Senators and Mr. Speaker, sir.
Well, I was of the impression that the main witness will maybe take time to respond to the many queries, but I'm told he opted to leave it at that. Okay, so were there any queries directed to any other party other than the witness? So that we proceed. Okay, so then we will. Now, honorable senators, before, yes.
There was a query that I raised, but I thought both parties would respond to it on whether we should take the logs as they are, considering they were extracted by one party without the involvement of the other party. And I referred to the 2017 presidential election, where some precedent was established. So I don't know whether the Governor's Council is happy with that.
My observation on that. Now, before we allow the team from the County Assembly call the next witness, there was a request that had been made by the Council for the Governor, and I want to proceed to make a ruling. Council, just take your seat, please.
Okay.
What is your point of order?
Honorable Speaker, before you make that ruling for the application which was sought by the Governor's Council, Mr. Speaker, in your ruling yesterday, you indicated that Senate will make some determination on threshold before voting on the main impeachment charges. Mr. Speaker, listening to the witness, the examination in chief, the close examination, the examination, and also maybe point of clarification from the senators. Honorable Speaker, before we make this decision tomorrow, whether there was threshold in the County Assembly, we didn't need an expert, Honorable Speaker, to assist us to verify the information that has been brought to this House, Mr. Speaker. You know, the side of the County Assembly, they are defending the voting was right. The other side, the Governor's side, they are also defending their goal that the voting did not go anywhere. So, Mr. Speaker, because the Senate leaders should be assisted, I'm not doing this application to assist either sides, but for the benefit of the Senate of the Republic of Kenya, because tomorrow we'll be making a very, very critical decision whether to allow the impeachment process to proceed, to vote for the impeachment charges or not, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we have an ICT authority in Kenya which has very, very informed experts. So, Mr. Speaker, we can get someone who can be able to look at all these ID, IP addresses, all these credentials, so that, Mr. Speaker, as we make our decision, we can make an informed decision. So if we get a neutral expert, then we can be better pleased, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Now, honorable senators, this is my ruling on the request made by the counsel for the governor, and also to address the concerns raised by Senator Kajwang and also the Senator for Meru. Now, honorable senators, at the start of the proceedings this morning, counsel for the governor, Mrs. Katwa Kigen, and Peter Wanyama made an application to be allowed to call the expert evidence of one Mr. Job Okun Oguya, whom they claim to be an information technology expert. Counsel sought to be allowed to rely on evidence on behalf of the governor on the report prepared by the said Mr. Oguya on 25th of August 2025 and his affidavit sworn at Nairobi on the 27th of August 2025. Now, counsel for the governor asserted that they had served the counsel for the county assembly by email with a report and affidavit sought to be relied on, and that the hard copies were available for circulation to honorable senators. Counsel for the county assembly opposed the application, arguing that this was an attempt by the governor's side to introduce new evidence at this late time during the impeachment trial, and that this would be prejudicial to the county assembly's case. Honorable senators, you will recall that I undertook to make a ruling on the application after having sight of the document sought to be relied on by the governor. I have since had sight of the documents. They are contained in a bundle titled Volume 5, His Excellency Eric Kipkoech Mutai Defense Response Affidavit of Okun Job Oguya. In the affidavit, Mr. Oguya deposed that he holds a Bachelor of Science, Computer Science degree from Kenyatta University, having graduated in the year 2014, and that he's currently the project consultant, security and networks at CyberHub Systems, with the mandate to provide high-level threat detection penetration testing for clients. He further deposed that he was requested to analyze the extracts of the system audit logs, which are contained in Volume 4A of the County Assembly documents, and was also given the affidavit of Mr. Alfred Kimtai Korir, contained in Volume 2 of the County Assembly documents, to make observations on the matter. Honorable Senators, Mr. Oguya deposed that he undertook a cybersecurity audit of KERICHO County Assembly electronic voting system and made observations contained in a report, which report was also attached. Now, honorable senators recall that yesterday, in disallowing the preliminary objection raised by the governor's side, contesting the voting system and the threshold of the vote at the KERICHO County Assembly, I ruled, among other things, that no summary determination of this matter is possible without these witnesses taking the stand to give evidence and being subjected to cross-examination in the usual manner. I further ruled that the only way for the Senate to determine this question is to receive evidence on the matter, evaluate the same, and make a finding one way or the other on the preponderance of evidence. Now, honorable senators, Rule 10 of the Rules of Procedure for Hearing and Determination of the proposed removal from office by impeachment of a governor provides as follows. The Senate may, at the request of the County Assembly or the governor, invite or summon any person to appear and give evidence before the Senate. Rule 2 of the said rules make it very clear that the impeachment proceedings are an investigation to determine whether the particulars of the allegations against the governor have been substantiated. Now, honorable senators, on the basis of the importance of the question on the voting system and the voting process that was undertaken, and noting the ruling that I made yesterday, and on the strength of Rule 10 of the Rules of Procedure, I will allow the application by counsel for the governor to admit the affidavit by Mr. Job Okun Oguya and his report on the cybersecurity audit on the KERICHO County Assembly electronic voting system. I find that the opposition by the County Assembly to the application is outweighed by the need for the Senate to get to the root of the voting system and the voting process. No prejudice will be suffered by the County Assembly if the Senate establishes the truth on this matter. I also note that for similar reasons yesterday, I allowed the County Assembly's application to provide documentation which had been referred in its submitted documents but had not been attached. Now, honorable senators, in allowing the governor to call its expert witness, I direct that the governor's side will have to accommodate the witness within its time as already allocated. The evidence of the witness will also be limited to matters raised in the evidence of the County Assembly. The witness will be subject to cross-examination in the usual manner. Honorable senators, I also wish to make an additional ruling on this matter. It has become apparent from hearing the evidence so far adduced in this case and the examination, cross-examination, and re-examination of Mr. Alfred Korir Kimtai, Head of Information Communication and Technology, KERICHO County Assembly, as well as the request by the governor's application to call the expert witness, that the Senate requires neutral, impartial, and dispassionate advice on the matter away from the witnesses of the parties. Indeed, this was referred to by Senator Moses Kajwang, MP, when seeking clarification from the County Assembly witness. Senator Kajwang reminded the Senate of its power to summon any person to assist it in its investigation in an impeachment process. The Senate has indeed invoked this jurisdiction before. For this reason, therefore, I direct the Office of the Clerk to immediately contact the Information Communication Technology ICT Authority of Kenya and request the authority to provide the Senate with 2 ICT experts to come and assist the Senate in this matter. I direct that the Office of the Clerk provides facilities for the 2 experts from the ICT Authority to sit with the head of ICT of KERICHO County Assembly and the ICT expert called by the governor, together with the representatives, whether council or otherwise, of the County Assembly and the governor, and for the experts from the ICT Authority to prepare a report for consumption of the Senate. The report, which must be brief and concise, should be submitted to the Office of the Clerk of the Senate not later than 6 p.m. today, Thursday, the 28th of August, 2025, and must answer the following questions. 1, did an electronic voting process take place using the system? 2, is the number of MCAs who voted on the impeachment of the governor verifiable? Number 3, was it possible for any MCA or any other person who had a link to vote on the motion on behalf of an MCA or another MCA? Number 4, how many MCAs voted in the affirmative on the motion to impeach the governor? Number 5, is there any evidence of multiple voting or other compromise of the voting system and or impropriety in the voting system or process? It is so ordered. Next witness. You may, Senator Boni.
Mr. Speaker, I thank you for that. And my mind is telling me there is something that the parties might lose if we only receive a written response to the issues you have raised. It might offer them a better opportunity, Mr. Speaker, if we allow that expert takes the witness stand, so that besides responding to the 5 issues you've raised, the parties be given an opportunity to interrogate him further. I believe if we do that, we'll better be enriched, Mr. Speaker.
The only person who can table this is the one who would have prepared it, and he can only do that when he takes the oath, tables this, go take us through it, and if you need to get any clarification from the experts, you certainly will be at liberty to do so. Thank you. Next witness.
So, Mr. Speaker, before the next witness comes, may I request that you direct the governor's side to give us a copy of their expert affidavit and report? We don't have it.
One was transmitted to you via email, but you can be served with a hard copy right now.
Thank you.
You may proceed to exchange documents. Let's hear the next witness.
just want to ask if they can be given to the senators. Okay.
Yes, Counsel for Governor.
Mr. Speaker, so I was requesting if the hard copies of the said report can be given out to the honorable senators.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Now, Counsel for County Assembly, you have 57 minutes, and I note you still have 6 more witnesses to call. So apportion your time accordingly.